Well, hello, my name is Philip Herring, and today I will be talking to you about a painting done by Bill Purdom. The name of the painting is M&M Boys, which tells the story of two legendary baseball players, one who was overseen more than the other. It's between Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle, and in the season of 1961, which was the year after Roger Maris's MVP season, they are both found on the same team playing for the New York Yankees in collision for the great Babe Ruth's home run record. Um, when this comes about, Roger Maris is a middle class man that grew up on a farm and just he loved to play baseball. He was drafted by the Yankees, and in turn he would eventually turn around to become one of the greatest baseball players ever. Um, in New York, Mickey Mantle was the ultimate, the legendary baseball player that they loved. New York were big fans of Mickey Mantle, and nobody was ever going to take his place. So when you go to New York, you find all these people in 1961 that are cheering for Mickey Mantle to break the Babe Ruth record. If anybody's going to do it, it has to be Mickey Mantle. Well, what they come to find out is these two teammates are in a race to break the record. Just so happens a lot goes on during the season. It's a battle back and forth between Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle. They were often called the M&M boys. One played left field, one played right field. One was number 7, one was number 9, and you had to. They batted directly in order. One was third, and one was fourth, and they were just a pair that nobody really wanted to pitch to. With the season being extended with more games in 1961, Roger Maris found himself pulling ahead in the lead. This brought many of New York fans. They were upset. They didn't like the fact that this guy who was just coming off his rookie year was gonna reach the home run record of 60. If they were going to hit 60 plus home runs, no one's ever done that before. They wanted it to be Mickey Mantle. Um, these two actually lived together. They were best friends. They everything they did, they were together. Roger Maris would often spend nights. He had three small little girls under the age of 7, and he had a newlywed wife. And there were nights when he actually found himself losing his hair, and just from stress related because he couldn't deal with the pressure. He had people threaten him and his family through things that they weren't sure of. They didn't like anybody other than Mickey Mantle having the glory in New York. Therefore, he's one of the greatest baseball players who's never been really looked at, even in the home run record. Roger Maris shows up to break the record, and Mickey Mantle falls short due to an injury, and they put an asterisk beside his name in the record book due to the fact that they still don't think it was right that just because he broke it in 2 more games before Babe Ruth, he broke Babe Ruth's record, and he had 2 more games to play, then evidently it just wasn't meant to be, and so they put an asterisk beside it. Mickey Mantle was by far arguably one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Mickey Mantle, he suffered from drug problems, and alcohol was his big flaw. He loved to go out and party. It was his thing. And so you find Mickey Mantle coming in, showing up daily with a slight hangover, and he doesn't really know what he is. He goes out and parties and brings home several women on a nightly basis. And you go in to find Roger Maris, who's kind of the father-like figure between the two, and he just he wraps things up in a nutshell. And without one another, they would have never made it through the season. And this why this painting is so spectacular to me is you see Mickey Mantle batting, um, and then you see Roger Maris on deck kneeling. And to me, this is kind of like Roger was kneeling to Mickey Mantle the whole season, not only in the stats because he had pretty much the same stats except he had more home runs, and then you see you see him sitting there wondering why isn't this me? Why can't I be on top? But Roger Maris he was often just a quiet guy. He had 61 home runs, and you never seen him smile on the baseball field. He smiled one time, and that was to take his picture for the MVP trophy when he won in 1960. Um, and Mickey Mantle, he's just sitting there watching Mickey bat, and even to the crowd, it's almost like they put Mickey Mantle on the pedestal above Roger Maris. He doesn't know what to expect, and the lines with the foul lines and the way the grass is coming in, it all points to the center. Everything's leading to Mickey Mantle, with Roger Maris looking on from the background. So the painting is also kind of putting Mickey Mantle on the pedestal, with Roger Maris looking off from the side. All the limelight of the painting centers in together and brings it all closer to Roger Maris, to the fact that this is more realistic to him. Baseball was a career to Roger Maris. He loved playing the game, and he played it hard. To Mickey Mantle, it was the greatest time of his life. He was a jokester. He was a clown. He showed up, and it's what he loved to do. It was his passion. With the nailing injuries and lagging alcoholism, he struggled to fight through it. And if in 1961, when the home run record, if he doesn't fall one night while he's drunk and hits his knee, then he arguably could beat Roger Maris. But all in all, the painting together just wraps it up to me as these two guys in the home run race in 1961. We've seen Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and so on chase the home run record. But what's so spectacular to me is that these two were the first to do it, and they're often overlooked. In times, I don't like the fact that the way the new age is coming about, and then in the painting it shows the crowd, the way the stands are. Is the baseball season in the middle of June. This painting was done on June 3rd, 1960, the year before the big season in 1961, when they chased the home run record, ever came about. So even before any of the big home run deals started, they were still putting Mickey Mantle on a pedestal compared to Roger Maris. He was the limelight. He was the show. Between these two, they sold more tickets in Yankee Stadium than ever in history. And that's what people often don't understand, is the fact that Roger Maris, to me, in my personal opinion, is the greatest baseball player ever to live, because he was humble about what he had. He was thankful and blessed and enjoyed playing the game and played it hard. He never took for granted one day playing the game. The colors in this painting are dramatic to the time period. It's a bright season on a bright day. This is a matinee game. They're playing at 12 o'clock. The sun's full shine. It's everything a baseball stadium could ask for and more. I could imagine as growing up as a kid, maybe in the 60s, this would be the only place I would want to be. It's just so welcoming and joyful, even in hard times like that were to come. With America, this is a warming feeling that I would present as a great time in life period, and this painting really hits hard, and I think more people should look into it, and that they should never overlook the power and justification between Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle.